Hello everyone, this is Akanksha Pishorkar and today's topic of discussion is retaining wall. Now what is retaining wall? The retaining walls are the structures which is used to provide the stability to the earth or the other material at their natural slopes. It is used for retain anything, it may be soil, it may be water. Then next, they are also used for maintaining the different level of backfill. Now there are three components of retaining wall. You can see in this diagram there are three components. This is heel slab, this is toe slab and this is stem. The vertical member is called as stem. The member on which backfill is rested, that is called as heel slab, and the member which is opposite to as that of heel slab, that is called as toe slab. So now we will see what is backfill and surcharge. So backfill, it is the material supported by retaining wall, or it is the material which is retained by that retaining wall. You can see in this diagram, this is backfill. This much material is retained by this retaining wall, therefore it is called as backfill. Then next is surcharge. It is the portion of backfill above the horizontal plane. You can see this is the horizontal plane. Above this horizontal plane, if there is any incline backfill, then this is also called as surcharge, and this angle of inclination is called as angle of surcharge. Or if there is any UDL applied over this horizontal plane, then it is also called as surcharge. You can see in this diagram this UDL is applied. In this diagram this UDL is applied. This UDL may be due to traffic load, and that UDL is also called as surcharge. That means anything above this horizontal plane, that is called as surcharge, and below this horizontal plane, that is called as backfill. Then next is type of retaining wall. First type is gravity wall. You can see in this there are three types of gravity wall: masonry unit gravity wall, then stone gravity wall, and pour concrete gravity wall. Then next type is cantilever retaining wall. So there are two types of cantilever retaining wall: T-shaped retaining wall and L-shaped retaining wall. You can see in T-shaped retaining wall there are three components of retaining wall: stem, heel slab and toe slab. And in L-shaped retaining wall there are only two components, and that components are stem and heel. So in this unit we are going to design cantilever type of retaining wall. It may be T-shape or L-shape for various condition of surcharge. Then next is counterfort retaining wall. This is the counterfort retaining wall. There are four components of counterfort retaining wall. The vertical one is stem, the horizontal one is heel slab and toe slab, and there is one inclined portion. This inclined portion is called as counterfort. Then we will see different types of backfill condition. So this is the retaining wall. This is the retaining wall which is subjected to dry and level backfill. Dry and level backfill means this is the soil. In this portion there is soil which is dry. So due to this backfill, that retaining wall will be subjected to lateral pressure. Lateral pressure means it is the horizontal pressure. This is the lateral pressure or horizontal pressure. Now according to Rankine's theory, that pressure will be triangular in shape, and base of that triangle will be equal to Ka gamma into H. So base of this triangle will be equal to PA is equal to gamma H into Ka. So in this, gamma means it is unit weight of soil, H means it is height of backfill, and Ka means it is coefficient of active earth pressure, and value of that Ka will be equal to 1 minus sin phi upon 1 plus sin phi. So if we convert this triangular loading into point load, so that will be denoted by PA, and value of PA will be equal to half of Ka gamma into H square, and that point load, you can see this is the point load. Value of this point load will be equal to half of Ka gamma into H square, and that point load will be act at distance of H by 3 from base of this triangular loading diagram. So this is the first condition when that retaining wall is subjected to dry and level backfill. Then next condition is that when the wall is retained by submerged backfill. That means if there is presence of water in that backfill, that is called as submerged backfill. So due to submerged backfill, there will be two types of lateral pressure, the pressure due to earth and pressure due to water. We know that according to Rankine's theory, that loading will be triangular in shape. So these are the two laterals loading diagram. This is due to soil, and base of that will be equal to Ka gamma into H. And this Ka will be again 1 minus sin phi upon 1 plus sin phi. Gamma means it is unit weight of soil, and H means it is height of backfill. And this is the diagram, second diagram, that is denoted by C, and that is the lateral pressure diagram due to water. Base of that lateral pressure diagram due to water will be equal to gamma W into H. Gamma W means it is the base of, gamma W means it is the unit weight of water, and H means it is the height of weight backfill. So this is the equivalent diagram D. It is the equivalent diagram, that is the at base there will be summation of lateral pressure diagram base due to soil and lateral pressure base diagram due to water. So next is the wall retain partly submerged backfill. That means you can see in diagram A there are two heights H1 and H2. Up to height H2 there is submerged backfill, and over that height H2 there is dry backfill. So water level is up to height of H2 only. So due to that there will be three pressure diagram. This diagram B indicates it is the pressure diagram due to dry soil. That means it is due to soil which is provided up to H1 height. Base of that pressure diagram will be equal to Ka dash gamma H1. Then second is the diagram which denotes the pressure distribution due to wet soil. That means it is for backfill up to height H2, and base of that diagram will be equal to Ka gamma H2. And third, that is the diagram D. It indicates the pressure distribution diagram due to water. Base of that pressure distribution diagram will be gamma W into H2. So this is the equivalent pressure distribution diagram which is denoted by E. Then next case is the wall with backfill, which is back wall with leveled backfill and which is subjected to UDL. This is the retaining wall which is having horizontal backfill and it is also subjected to UDL of load, UDL of value W. So there will be again two pressure distribution diagram. Pressure distribution diagram due to backfill is triangular in shape and base of that triangle will be equal to Ka gamma into H, and pressure distribution diagram due to UDL will be rectangular in shape and base of that rectangular will be equal to Ka into W. Value of Ka is equal to 1 minus sin phi upon 1 plus sin phi, and W means it is the value of UDL. The next case is the retaining wall with sloping backfill. That means this backfill is not horizontal, it is having one slope, and angle of that slope or angle of that surcharge is denoted by alpha. In this diagram it is denoted by alpha. So due to that sloping backfill, there is the triangular shape of loading which is having incline based, and angle of that inclination will be equal to angle of surcharge. Then base of this triangle is having same value as that of another triangle, that is Ka gamma into H. Then next is force acting on retaining wall. There are two types of force acting on retaining wall. First is lateral force, that means lateral pressure lateral force, that means horizontal force, and second type of force is the vertical. This vertical force is due to the soil which is below the retaining wall, and the horizontal or lateral pressure is due to the backfill. You can see in this diagram, this is the lateral pressure, it is due to backfill, and this is the vertical pressure, it is due to the soil which is present below the retaining wall. So next is deflection of cantilever retaining wall. So you can see this retaining wall is subjected to lateral pressure, horizontal, that means horizontal pressure in this direction. Due to horizontal pressure in this direction, this stem will be bent in this direction. So this is hill and this is hill and this is toe. This above this hill slab there is the backfill, and due to this backfill the vertical pressure will act in downward direction, and due to this downward directional force this hill will bend in downward direction. Then next is, again we know that in previous problem we have previous case we have seen that there is upward vertical pressure, and that upward vertical pressure is due to soil. Due to this upward vertical pressure, this toe will be bent in upward direction. So finally we will get, this is the shape of deflection. The stem will bend towards the left side, heel slab will bend in downward direction, and toe slab will bend in upward direction. This stem will bend due to lateral pressure, heel slab will bend due to backfill, and toe slab will bend due to upward soil pressure. So this is the deflection diagram. So according to this deflection diagram, this part of this diagram will be in tension and this part will be in compression, and we know that reinforcement is always laid over tension side. So reinforcement for stem will be laid to this side. So you can see in this diagram, this is the main reinforcement of stem. So for heel slab, due to this downward deflection of heel slab, this part will be in tension and this part of heel will be in compression. So main reinforcement will be laid in tension side, that means in upward side. So main reinforcement of heel is laid on upward side of heel slab. Then next is for toe slab. This toe slab will bend in upward direction, therefore this bottom portion will be in tension and top portion will be in compression, and we know that reinforcement is laid on tension side, so reinforcement of toe will be laid at bottom side of slab. So this is the main reinforcement of toe slab. So we know that at this side main reinforcement of stem will be laid, at this side main reinforcement of heel slab will be laid, and at this side main reinforcement of toe will be laid. These dots will indicate the distribution bar. Then at this side of stem wall temperature steel will be laid, because at this side of stem wall there is backfill, that means there is soil, but on toe slab no soil will be there, so this part of stem will always exposed to atmosphere. So due to exposure of atmosphere it feels more temperature changes. So to accommodate that temperature changes, temperature steel will be provided at this side of stem wall. So this is the main reinforcement of stem wall and this is the temperature reinforcement of stem wall. And you can see this is the main reinforcement and this is curtail reinforcement. So this is the only reinforcement diagram. This is the main reinforcement of stem. This is the curtail reinforcement of stem. This is temperature steel for stem. This is the reinforcement for heel slab, which is laid in upward direction, and this is the temperature. This is the reinforcement of toe slab, which is laid in downward direction. So this is all about retaining wall. Thank you.